Okay, second try on part 2 video, because I went too long and rambled. But, so I became homeless 7 weeks after my mom passed away because I made some bad decisions. I was living in a fantasy idea of how I would recover from what had happened, that I would get a job and get my own place and move on and do better with my life in a new city. And I think that I should ask if that is also a symptom of depression or just denial or something. But I stayed at a place that wasn't really a good place to be staying, and I had a breakdown because my dad received a bill from the electric company in my mom's name because I didn't have an address when I left Arizona, and they wanted to collect money from me because of stupid shit. But anyways, he just said really, really awful things, and it really made me realize how much my dad just didn't love me, never loved me. And it put me in the hospital, but they didn't really give me an option to go to a place to stay. They just kept me under observation, and about a week later I became homeless, and I was jobless, and it was a frustrating thing because I had too much stuff. I mentioned it in another video what happened, but I never cried so much, I think. No, that was the first day I got here. I remember the first night I was at the shelter. I'm getting my time wrong. First night I was at the shelter, and I had all my things with me, and that they allowed me to keep, and I couldn't sleep because my brother had been in shelters, and warned me, and it just scared me that somebody was gonna steal my shit while I was sleeping. And so I just and that whole I admittedly I had an attitude about being homeless and stuff. I thought I was too good to be homeless, and I put myself in a bad situation and almost got raped the next night, and I kept it to myself, and finally broke down and spoke, because I have a psychologist there at the shelter, and got hooked up to get my medications in order and get my insurance in order and all that stuff. And this was in August, and then I joined Occupy Boston and felt a lot safer than in the shelters and stuff, and met some people, and I stayed with some people, and because I overstayed my welcome, and he's a really great guy, and we were avoiding the conversation of when I was gonna leave, and it was a bad timing. I don't think he realized the timing, and that it would have been nice to have maybe either another week, because it was 2 days before the anniversary of my mom's death, first year. I don't think I've told him that either. And I really should tell him. Because I think it escapes his mind. Because he's a busy person. But I had a breakdown, basically the week and a half before I moved out, and stayed at a place for a week because I was given that option, and it really, really helped. I needed that. I needed to get away from that stress. And this is part of the problem with mental health in this country, is that we've shut down all these mental health facilities and defunded, and they're underfunded, that a lot of people with serious mental illnesses, either they're killing themselves, they're going to prison, killing other people, or homeless. A lot of the people that are homeless have a mental health problem. But my PTSD got worse because of my situation with the homelessness. When you're homeless, you're just trying to survive, so a lot of times your feelings are just not there. And what feelings you have going on tends to be just frustration and anger. You can't really feel anything else, because if you let other feelings get in, someone is going to destroy you, whether physically or emotionally. So and I had incidences in the shelter of violence. I witnessed violence, was in the middle of violence, trapped in a situation, basically, of violence, and staff at the shelter just walking away from it because it was outside the building. That just literally brought it all. And so my PTSD is much more evident, and I'm going to therapy, and I realize a lot more of, I'm recognizing more incidences for what they are and what they were. But yeah, my anxiety, sometimes it has me acting kind of agoraphobic, where I'm like, I just won't leave. It'll be like snap of my fingers. I'll be getting ready to go somewhere because I want to go somewhere, and like that, I'm like, no, I don't want to go. Or I'll just stay within a couple blocks of my home. I just don't want to go anywhere too far. And sometimes being like in the stores when they're really busy, like when they're really busy, I sometimes can't handle it, and I leave. And it'll be worse when I'm getting broker and broker, and I need to buy things to space it out, and I'm just getting frustrated, and then it's just so busy and noisy around me, and it's embarrassing, and I just leave. I've gotten better on that, but it's really hard sometimes, and I'm on disability for my depression and learning disability, and I have an older brother who has had a lot of things happen to him that I really want him to do a video with me when I get a chance to go see him. Because I think that I also want to get him set up with some programs and stuff. It'd be really cool if I can spend a weekend up there, but I don't think that'll happen. Because we both, I think, are living in places that we can't have guests. So, but we have the family that don't acknowledge us, and we basically have been abandoned since our mother passed away, and that can exasperate it. And the thing that I spoke with my therapist about and what has come up is like, I really literally feel like an orphan now, and I know that my brother has felt that way much longer than me, for his reasons that I would love to get him on video to talk about. But anyways, I just wish that Robin Williams hadn't taken his life, but I know what it's like to be feeling that pit of darkness and despair. I just never acted on it in the way men do, and I think men tend to really go through with suicide. That's why I gotta get my brother out of the habit of not texting me very much, or not staying in touch with me, because I worry. So I hope I stayed enough on track to talk about my depression and whatnot after the fact that we have lost Robin Williams, and there's been more public attention given to mental illness, and let's hope we can make some change. And I don't know if I said this, but it's like a lot of the people who are homeless, there's several categories of people, and they all have a form of mental illness. They have an addiction, they've been in prison, they've been to war of some sort, whether it's combat or life. Don't avoid a homeless person like the plague. Make eye contact as it's comfortable for you, and maybe even find that homeless person and find out what their story is. That might make their lives feel a little bit better. Alright, that's it.